Welcome racer to the XGR New Babbage City Tour fly-through. As you can see, I am currently flying away from the spaceport towards the city and slightly to the left. Do you see those islands on my left? That's close to the start. Just kind of panning around here towards the start. You can see two antennas on the right with red lights on top. Between that and the island close to me will be the start line of our racetrack. We'll be aiming to have racers spread out some to tackle the first sprint with a little bit more distance between everybody. Alright, look at the city skyline and pick your target and try to remember. We are going under the metro loops across the frozen freeway. You can go anywhere you like here, so long as you go around the city. I'll point it out in a second, and of course you must go under the metro loops, but find your spacing and avoid crashing with racers, the terrain, and the metro loop. Two metro loops, and now is the left turn. So you see that city on the left we have to go around. We're going towards the metro loop here, and you have to go through this right hole. This is break and snake, because we're going to snake our way through these pillars. So you turn through the far right one, you turn around it, you go once more, and then back to where you came and started from, and now it's a free ride. You can go anywhere you like toward the Aspire Grand. Again, avoid collision with racers by choosing your own path. We're going through the Aspire Grand and over. This is G-Lock Prime. We'll be going around this a second time at full speed, and a word of warning, you will be very close to G-locking, so remember to use your boost and turn radius wisely. We're going toward the metro loop here. This is the same as the Aspire Team Sprint. We have to go through the way I go through, between these pillars, from left to right, around the pillar, and a 90-degree left turn between the city corridor, if you will, and again underneath this metro loop. At this point, it's a free ride to the next metro loop. It doesn't matter if you go over the buildings on the left and the right. You can choose whatever path you want. It can be a little disorientating, but look at the metro loop coming up. This is your gate. And here is the second metro loop. This is Kinkshame. Follow my exact path. We're going between these two buildings, and then it's a sharp left turn before the pillars, not after them, on our way to Twin Towers. These are recognizable because they look identical. You can't go above them, you must go through them. A sharp left turn again toward the next metro loop. You can go anywhere you like as long as you go under the metro loop. But in this case, what we're doing is a loop. This is Loop D. Again, find your spacing. It doesn't matter what side of the pillar you go on. Just make sure you avoid other racers. Now again, we go to these identical looking buildings. This one is called One Step Back, and you're going to pass them on the left, only to turn right and through them. So passing on the left, a sharp right turn in between them, and then a left turn, and take note of the close proximity metro loop. You must go under them. Either side of the pillar is fine, but you must go under them. Here's the final metro loop. This one is called Do, as a finisher from Loop-de-Doo. Again, we go over, completing a loop. And then I'm going to point my crosshair at the start finish there, but we don't go there. First, we're going to turn right. Again, this is a free ride. You choose how you go, but you must go between these two circular buildings. You can't go over them. And then again, it's a free ride to the final chicane. It's called Last Chance. Don't go too low. If you go too low, you might get some autopilot, but this is fine. You must go through these. So 1, and then 2, and the final turn to the left here will put you straight at the start finish line. There you go. Of course, you can't go over the red lights. You must go through the pillars. And here we go for a second run. This time we'll be using boost and going as fast as we can. Again, look at the skyline, find wherever you want to go under the metro loop. You can go on either sides of the pillars, if you will. There's not really a limitation. Just make sure you go around the city there. Sharp left. You'll be doing some boost management here as well. It's all about determining where you want to deploy your boost. Through brake and snake. Snaking our way between the pillars. Already blacking out a little bit there. Final turn then to the left, and then it's the free run to the Aspire Grand on our way to G-Lock Prime. Now check out this G-Lock. Oh, so close. The P52 specifically is such a good racer in Atmo. Here we go, under the metro loop between these designated pillars. A sharp left turn between the corridor underneath the next metro loop. And now it's a free run to the next one. You're free to go over the buildings if you want. Find your spacing away from other racers. Do whatever you need to do. So long as you go underneath these metro loops, and it is a tight one with the terrain just below it. On our way to Kinkshame. Underneath the metro loop, between the buildings, a sharp left on our way to Twin Towers. Make sure to reserve your boost for these turns, because otherwise you will be slow and draggy. Sharp left coming up for our first loop around the metro loop. There's all sorts of ways to take these metro loops. You'll have to find which thrusters you want to use, and that depends on how much boost you have, how much speed you have, and of course, where other racers are located. One step back, here we go. Remember to drop, so you can go underneath the very close metro loop. Again, G-locking a little bit there, riding the gray colors. There we go, another loop. And before we go to the finish line, take a free ride to these towers on the far side here. They've got blue lines on the top for you to recognize them. And again, you're free to go anywhere you like here to avoid racers. Just make sure you go through the last chance final chicane here without going over them. And there's the start finish line. Good luck, pilot.